So today we're playing as the Rebels, and we got Yavin 4, and we just kind of want to expand out from here and pretty much take as many of these planets as we can. I do think that the planet count is about 145, 146-ish. So it's a pretty big map, as you can see. It's sprawling with a bunch of Star Wars planets. And to start things off, I think we'll hit play. So I'm just going to consolidate all my fleets together here. I just think starting off is the first time, I guess, or for the first battle, it's always better just to have the full starting force. I think realistically, the best planet that we should go for is actually Serenno. Just because I think it has, oh, it does not. Oh, it does, sorry. It actually does have a higher level, so it can actually get up to level 5, as you can see on the left side. Whereas Dathomir can only get up to level 3. I think Korriban is also level 3, yep. So we're going to try and take them out, and I guess see how this battle goes. So we're attacking Serenno, the planet of Serenno right now, and we're just taking all of our units and moving them towards the asteroid, which should be around here. It looks like they're taking their time, so we're just going to speed it up a little bit. Actually, I'm just going to pull out the fighters separately.
Copy that.
And the Corvette cruisers. And then we can boost their engine power to get there faster, which we're just going to do.
Enemy forces ahead.
And here's the battle start.
Orders, sir. Gunboat here, sir.
So we got some gunboats that hopefully take out these tri-fighters. Since they're actually pretty good at taking out fighters because they're missiles, as you can see that they're shooting. And we're actually going to bring up the assault frigate all the way up here as well, because we want him to start taking out this dreadnought. And now we're actually going to grab our bombers, grab all of our bombers.
Y-wing squadron reporting.
And we're going to have them actually just go for here. Let's take out their concussion missiles.
Squadron reporting.
Just going to have them hunt for enemies.
Roger. Gargantuan ready.
So now we're in the cinematic mode, which just makes it look a little bit like the movie battles, which I think is actually a really cool feature, especially for a game that came out in about 2006. And I think this mod just really helps it too, because just look at these graphics compared to what this game originally would have had, which wasn't very impressive for the time. I mean, for 2006 it was impressive, but for 2020, not so much. I will say, these are my favorite Rebel ships. I just really like the design of them. I know they're not the strongest frigates, but I definitely think that they look pretty cool. So we just gotta clean up those little fighters that are left. Shouldn't take too much longer. There we go. Looks like our losses, we just lost 3 Corvettes, which, not the biggest deal. They're pretty cheap. They're not extremely good, but they definitely are good against fighters. And then we also, unfortunately, lost some bombers. And then we lost some A-wings as well. But the enemy lost Arc Squadron, Dreadnought class, IPVs, 4 of them. And then their base, which, I mean, it's not like we're fighting against the Empire or the Criminal Underworld yet, so these losses really aren't that impactful. And I think now we're going to start building up our space station on the planet. And then I'm also going to start building some more ships for us. So if we look at our ships, let's actually move them somewhere where you can see them without the wording over the way. So we have all of these ships, and actually first I'm going to have the Salt Frigate go there because he'll just jump in and then I can pull these in afterwards. But if you look at it, we got pretty much really only a fleet designed as an anti-fighter
Construction complete.
fleet because
Beginning
we don't,
construction.
this early game, we don't really have anything that's great against capital ships. Granted, most capital ships right now are pretty small. Like the Empire does not have an ISD one yet. I think that's level 3 or 4. It might be level 4, and then I think the ISD 2 is level 5. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, I could very well be wrong. It's been a little while since I played this mod,
Construction complete.
but I think we're going to build some
Constructing
nebulas.
unit.
I think that we will actually
Unit
not build them
cancelled.
here, we'll build them on this planet,
Vehicle in production.
so that we can actually get them built
Vehicle
before
in
that.
production.
We will build some U-boats, which U-boats, sorry, U-wings, wrong era. These are pretty good against the fighters. They just have, they can take a hit, and then they can also use their turrets pretty well. For example, like if you've seen Rogue One, you'd know how effective they are against fighters and ground troops too. But unfortunately in this mod there's no ground battles yet, which I think honestly is probably the low point of the original game. But
Unit
it's
in
still
production.
fun, it's just, I think it could have been better. But for 2006, this was a big game. I think the original game has, I want to say like 32 planets, but it might have less. And I know that it only actually has a handful of ships. Like I'm pretty sure it only has a Star Destroyer because obviously there wasn't a Star Destroyer 1 and 2 before Rogue One, which introduced the Star Destroyer, the first Star Destroyer. But with the looks of this, we're getting our squadron getting put back together. And I do want to get some of those Y-wings, because we're going to use these for like some of their bigger ships, like if they have more dreadnoughts like they did in this battle again.
Y-wing squadron reporting.
It'll just be more useful to have them take it out, or else even if we need help taking out that asteroid base. Y-wings are not very good against fighters, which is pretty standard. I mean, they are bombers after all. That's not their primary objective
Y-wing squadron
or
reporting.
design for them. But I think after we build some of those,
Y-wing
we're going to
squadron
build
reporting.
some more
Constructing
X-wings, and then we're going to take these, and then we are going to go
Y-wing squadron
for,
reporting.
I think might make our way up
Squadron reporting.
to Talos,
Squadron
because I
reporting.
eventually want to work my way over this way to start going for Mon Calamari, because then we can get those huge MC-80s, MC-75s, missile cruisers, and all of those good things that they gave to the Rebel Alliance. So we're going to go up to Telos,
On our way.
and I do know that we could have just gone to Korriban and gotten there faster, but I also wanted a planet that does have more than 3 levels for the space station, so then we can get those bigger and better ships, as well as the space stations that will be better to protect.
imminent.
So now this should be a fairly small battle. We don't really have much of a force to fight against,
Assault brigadier.
and we're just gonna
Setting course.
bring him there. We're just gonna speed it up a little bit because it might take him a little bit to get there. But yeah, I do think that they did a great job with these planets and stuff too, like the backgrounds. Because the original ones, like, again, they looked great in 2006, but now, not as special looking anymore. So as we get closer, once we get close enough, I'm going to throw on the boost shield power, which I think brings it all the way up to its front for this one. I mean, that is what it was like in the movies, but I don't know if this game makes that distinguishing trait or not. So now,
Choose your reinforcements.
since we have quite a few fighters coming, we're actually going to drop our X-Wings, and we're going to actually put them pretty close to here. So it's really only this one gunship, and we're also going to pull in our Corvette and some of these as well.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Oops, I guess I put them across the line. And as you see, we also got these big guys, so I'm actually going to have him fire at these, because these are, I think, the Quasar. Yep, Quasar fire class, which I think might mean that these ones, yep, they are still the carriers. So they actually hold quite a few of the fighters that we see here. So we want to take these. We're going to want to mop up all those fighters. Oops. I will say on this map it is a little difficult to see that yellow, for me at least. So we're going to bring them in closer. Now we're going to bring in our bombers and take out their base. We're just going to do one huge bombing run. Hopefully if they don't take off too fast on me. And there they go. So let's get him up here. Let's get the Corvette up there to help clean up those fighters, and let's get those up there as well. Thought I had one more. There it is. So this should help us take out all their fighters and stuff as well. Let's move him up a little bit to hopefully absorb most of these hits, because as you see, he has 20,000 shield points and 30,000 hit points, which is very, very good for early game. It's actually pretty good for mid game as well, even against like the Empire's stuff. Late game, the Empire's firepower actually gets pretty good, assuming that they have enough resources to build it. But we'll see once the time comes. And I'll just move them up there to help bring firepower. And again, I think they did a fantastic job with this mod, with the models and stuff too, and the textures, the lighting, like just overall. I'm assuming they spent countless hours doing this, but it is such a great mod and it looks beautiful. Like their work definitely paid off. Hopefully, they will eventually add land battles, which I think they're working towards, and hopefully those look as beautiful as this as well. And hopefully they kind of rework the base mechanics of it, kind of like how they did with this, just so that we can get some better land battles out of it. It looks like they might have one more, so that is theirs. So let's just send those three off to take care of him. I will say that most of these neutral planets, they're going to have the Clone Wars era weapons, with a few of like what the Criminal Underworld would have, or like pirates, I guess, the Star Wars pirates would have as well. And they're pretty easy to beat. None of their ships, like they don't level up and get like better space stations where they can build better ships as well. Some planets though, like when we do go to Mon Calamari, we are gonna have to face off against, I think, an MC-80 and MC-75 or two of them, and then quite a bit of fighters. It's going to be kind of difficult, but once we do get it, it's going to help us so much once we get that planet.
Targeting systems active.
because then we'll actually be able to square off against the Empire. And then if we end up taking away the Kuwait, assuming I'm saying that right, the Kuwait shipyards, then we take away all of their ISDs and then their specialized ISDs as well. I think actually they might still be able to build the ISD 1 outside of there, possibly the 2 as well. But hopefully we can take them away from them as well. But this battle is taking quite a bit of time. Take out just one fighter squadron. Let's just get some more firepower over there to get this over with quicker.
Copy. Preparing for combat.
I'm not really sure why
Open fire.
we're
Engines
struggling so
activated.
much against them. It is just
The
arcs.
enemy
There it
has
is.
been defeated.
So, I mean, we did lose 3 T-65 squadrons, which are our X-Wings. And then again, their losses don't really matter. We just took the planet. It's not like we're fighting the Empire yet.
System
And with
control
that, we now have
achieved.
Talos, and we're going to
Upgrade
start
started.
building those. And I think this is actually a great place to stop it today. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Colossal Kiko. Please like, share, comment, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.